Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. Today's class focus is for areas that cyclists tend to have issues with. Even if you're not a cyclist, join me to see how much you have in common. We will begin with the lower body that powers you through your ride, and then we'll focus on the upper body, releasing tension in the shoulders and the neck, and of course with the head as well, right up in here. You will need 2 tennis balls and a foam roller, short or long is fine. And make sure you like and subscribe below. Don't forget about the bell, because then you'll get informed when I add new content and videos. Let's get started. Here we go, cyclists. Let's get those areas, and anyone else. We all have them, whether we're on the road cycling or not. So we're going to start seated on the roller. Let's start out with our glutes, because you know when you're on the road you're sitting on them all the time. So I'm going to start on my left. You can use a block under your hand, and let's start by rolling out that glute top to bottom, finding any trigger points, some tender spots. I call them roadblocks, or speed bumps even. We want to avoid those speed bumps, right? We don't like speed bumps. We want to get rid of them. So a couple more. And then we're going to go a little deeper into that piriformis. So we want to cross the ankle over that right thigh and roll some more. Again, if you find a spot, let's just move that knee up and down right through the middle of any of those speed bumps. Move a little lower on the glute. Continue to move that knee up and down, flexing the foot at the ankle. And then move to the top of the glute and move that knee again up and down. And then roll forward and back. Just a final little swoosh of rinsing and rehydrating, as they say, of that tissue. And then we're going to uncross the left. Now we're going to stay with the left, but slide off of the roller. And go ahead and keep your left knee bent, right leg is straight. You're going to want your tennis ball now. So you're going to lean away from that glute, and I'm going to lean backwards onto my roller. The tennis ball's under that left glute, and then I'm dropping the knee open and closed. So again, you might find some tender spots here. Gets pretty tight in those glutes because again, we're moving that hip. But we're going to bring that knee one more time, open and close, bring the knee up. Now I want you to slowly straighten and then bend, tapping the heel and then the toe. One more time, and then pull the knee up, drop the knee open just slightly, and draw that foot out and in. That's going to be a little different. You're going to feel it quite a bit more, because we're rotating that hip, so that glute has to work more. One more. And now I want you to rotate the knee in, bring it in and up, and then slide it forward and back. Might have to go more towards the sits bones on that tennis ball. Oh, I'm sliding off of mine. And then in and out. Holding that tennis ball. If it slides out, my leggings are a little slippery there. There we go. And then one more time, knee bent, foot flat, and drop the knee open and closed. And move that tennis ball to where you need it, maybe more to the outside edge as you drop into it, and then up, or more to the middle top. So again, play around with where you've got tension or trigger points in that glute area, in those different glute muscles or fascia tissue. One more. And then we're going to take the tennis ball out, and we're going to sit up nice and tall, keeping that right leg still straight. Place that tennis ball on the side, and we're going to cross over that left foot over the right thigh. Grab hold of the knee, sit up tall, so your right arm is holding onto that left knee. Flex your right foot, reach behind, and twist. So now you're really stretching out that glute that you just foam rolled and did the tennis ball with. So you can get more range of motion and some more power in that leg as you're pumping the pedals on your bike. Or maybe you're just going for a hike and you need to get more range of motion climbing up those steep mountains. Again, rolling the glutes, working the glutes out is for everybody. So sit up a little bit taller, pull that knee in a little bit more, feeling that stretch. Feels so good. And then we're going to release. Now we're going to go to the other leg. So you're going to pop back up onto the roller. We're going onto the right. I'm just going to turn around so you can see, keep facing all of you. So reaching back on that right arm and rolling that right glute up and down. Whew, top to bottom. And you might find a difference from one side to the other, especially if you are dominant on one side. If you are right arm dominant or right side dominant, you might find more of those speed bumps or trigger points. Again, I like to say, or roadblocks. One more, and then let's cross the ankle over the thigh and roll some more. So again, rolling, it depends on what feels good to you. Flexing that foot. I want you to find the middle of that glute and start bringing that knee up and down. And then we're going to move to the bottom of the glute, bring the knee up and down. And then you're going to move to the top of the glute and bring the knee up and down. And then roll that whole thing again. Getting it all done. One more. And now you're going to uncross that right leg. Go ahead and sit in front of the roller. You're going to need your tennis ball. Our left leg stays straight. Right leg is bent, and we're going to lean, place that tennis ball under the glute. Go ahead and roll back. So you're leaning on that roller. So you have support. And then we're going to drop the knee open and closed. Open and closed. And maybe you can't go as far down on this side. Maybe more. It's up to you. Again, this is I'm definitely a right side dominant. I do more on the right leg, right arm, and I can feel the difference. So open and close. And then I want you to slide that leg out and in, straight out and in. Good. And then we're going to bring it up. The foot is flat. Drop the knee just slightly open to about 45 degrees and slide that leg forward and back. Makes all the difference in the world, doesn't it? A little more intensity there. Then bring it back to center. Knee is bent. Drop it inward toward the midline of the body and draw in and out. Again, this is maybe where you go closer to the sits bones. Draw that leg in and out. Then bring it back up, and we're going to drop it. Move to the outside edge of that glute now and drop the foot, the knee and the foot open and close. So you're rolling to the outside edge of the right foot, back to the arch of the foot. In and out. And then we're going to bring the knee up, bring that tennis ball out from under the glute, cross your right leg over the left, flex your left foot, hold on to that right knee with your left arm, sit up tall, and then reach behind. And let's get a nice twist, stretching through that glute. And notice the difference. Is it in the glute, the hip, maybe the back? If you've got low back or tight back, this could definitely help loosen it up a little bit. And you're breathing, you're nice and tall. Feeling that. This will help loosen up the hips, the low back, and give you the power to move that leg. Because you could tell just by moving the leg how much the glute, those areas hurt if there was some tender spots. All right, so we're going to release. We're going to continue on with the lower body. The upper body is later on, but we're going to get the whole lower body done first. So now we're moving to quads. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to first roll those quads on the roller. And this is a great core strengthening as well. So you're going to drop to your elbows, and we're going to be in a plank with the top of the roller at the right above the knees, at the bottom of the thighs, but the top of the knees, but not on the knees. Elbows a little wider so you can really go into that core. Try to relax your legs as much as you can. And I want you to use your arms to push yourself forward and back 1 inch. So forward and back. Now the key here is to completely relax your legs as you roll forward and back. Now sometimes that's easier said than done because the tissue can get pretty sensitive there and tight. I want you to walk your elbows back 1 inch and go forward and back. So you're slowly moving up those thighs, very slowly, very important to take your time and not rush it. We don't want to do it too quickly rolling because it can cause our body to get super tense. And then keep walking those elbows back. Now you're moving up those thighs a little more, nice and slow. And notice maybe one side you feel more than the other, or maybe you are feeling like more tension. Again, maybe you're not feeling what I'm talking about, but tune into what you are feeling. All the way towards the top until it's till you can't go anymore. While it's still comfortable. And on those thighs. Excellent. Now I want you to walk your elbows way forward, engage the core, pull your body forward so you roll that roller back to the top of the thighs. Good. And then I want you to just place your toes on the floor and gently shift your body to the right and just do a little forward and back. And then slowly shift your body to the left. Your hips are rolling, so now you're on the front outside of the left thigh, inside of the right. Good. Back to center. Walk your elbows back so it moves up the center of the thigh. Drop your legs to the hips to the right. Roll up and down. And then slowly rotate your hips to the other side. Roll up and down. And then back to center. Walk the elbows back so you're a little bit higher. Roll the hips to the right. Toes on the floor, just resting. Roll up and down. And then slowly to the other side, up and down. It can change as you move up the thigh. Back to center, roll a little bit higher. Drop your hips to the right. And then slowly rotate your hips to the left. Think about relaxing your shoulders so there's no tension. Back to center, last one, up. And again, if you have super long legs and you need to go more, that's fine. Drop your hips to the right. So you're getting the top right front of that thigh and then to the left. Now we're getting into those hip flexors, the part of the leg. It attaches all the way up into it's past the hip and down into those quads. Good. Now you're going to slide off the back of the roller. Let's take a child's pose. Separate the knees, feet together, arms on that roller. Reach it out in front and just stretch it out. If it bothers your shoulders, just let them rest, elbows on the floor. Either is fine. Stretch it out. Now let's shift our body side to side. Shift side to side, checking in. And then we're going to come back up. You're going to place the roller on the side and you're going to use a tennis ball again. You're going to lay on your belly, all the way down on the belly. Bring your hand on your under your chin, and then I'm going to take the tennis ball and I'm going to just roll to my right hip and place it towards the top of my left thigh. Yep, and then I'm going to, my leg is straight, bend and straighten right there. And now if it's super intense, I want you to lean more body weight away from the tennis ball. Maybe you can lean towards it when you straighten your leg, lean off when you bend, or vice versa. Good. Now I want you to take your left hand, move that tennis ball down a little more, and bend and straighten. Again, most of my weight is on my left thigh and hip. Sorry, my right. I meant my right. I'm away from the tennis ball. So most of my body weight is on my right thigh, my right side, because I can't put all my body weight on that tennis ball. It's just not comfortable. It doesn't feel good. And then a little bit lower. You can adjust the leg. Bring that tennis ball under, and then straighten and bend. Again, if it's too intense, don't worry about it. Just do the roller again. And then bend and straighten. Or you can just roll, put your toe on the floor, and you can roll your leg side to side with the tennis ball right there. Either is fine. And then we're going to go a little bit lower. Bending and straightening. And again, if you have feeling extreme pain or any what we call zingers or shooting pain, like a nerve pain, that's not a good sign. That means you need to take the tennis ball out of there and not be doing that. And work, maybe get a massage, try to figure out what is going on with that quad, especially if you're getting nerve pain or if it's super, super sensitive. And if the roller was super intense, throw a towel around your roller and just continue to do that instead of the tennis ball. All right, so we are done with that tennis ball on the left leg. So what I want you to do, just bring it out, put your, again, chin on your hand, and just reach back and grab hold of that left foot and pull it towards your glute. So now you're stretching out the front of your left thigh, the one that you just had the tennis ball under. If you did the opposite of me, that's fine, just do the right leg. Now, another option, if you can't reach your leg because your quads are so tight or there's a knee issue going on, lay on your side and you can either hold your leg to the side or you can bring your foot behind you and push your hip forward. That's a whole great way. The goal is not only are we stretching through the quad, the knee, but all the way up through that hip. So you're going to pull that heel towards the glute, either on your belly or on your side, or just pushing your hips up, and you can try flexing your ankle and your breathing, or you can try letting your foot relax and pull the foot heel to the glute. Feels so good. Maybe try to bring your knees together. So the reason I'm holding the stretch so long is that it is so important because your quads get so tight and it's pulling that knee out of alignment, and then you end up having knee pain, hip gets pulled out of alignment, and we're going to release. Now, we're going to switch sides. All right, so now you're going to bring your left hand under your chin, shift your body weight, and placing the tennis ball under my right quad, and then bending and straightening that right leg. So continue that. I'm going to turn around so you can see. So I'm on it. So remember, this is where most of my weight is on my left side now, and I'm bending and straightening, getting into that quad. So I'm just pretty high up on the front of that thigh, and then you roll it down just a little more, bend and straighten, and it kind of gets a little intense as you get lower. So I let my knee rest on the floor. There's a little bit of an angle of my foot is pulling a little bit over to the left, so it makes it a little less intense than going directly on top of it is pretty much too much. So out to the side, put your toe down if you need to, and then I'm moving a little bit further down. And again, you can have the leg straight and just slide it forward and back, or you can bend and straighten. So now it's not getting as intense for me, but maybe it's different for you. We're all different. Again, listen to your body. Maybe you've got something going on at the knee, and down you get towards the bottom outside edge of that knee, and towards the top. We never roll the knee or the kneecap, but those connective tissue areas down there can definitely talk to us. I'm going to do one more. Right down there close to the knee there. So hopefully you're feeling okay on this. I'd love to know how your quads are doing. Now we're going to take the tennis ball out. I'm going to let it roll away. And then you're going to reach back for that right foot and bring it into the glute. Let your chin rest on your palm or your fist. And just breathe. And again, if you can't reach that leg, you can try laying on your side and grabbing it, or bringing it behind you and pushing that hip forward. And let's just breathe here. Try to really relax that leg. Bring the knees together. Try flexing at the ankle. That can make it a little more intense down by the knee when you stretch that. Or point the toe again. That also can. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Feel that quad releasing a little bit, getting a little strength, length. Sometimes when you lengthen and release the tissue, the tension, you can get that strength back. So that's what we want, power in those legs. When they're tight and stiff and you got this pain, you don't have as much power. Go ahead and release that leg. Oh, nice. Go ahead and come all the way up to tabletop. So we're going to be hands and knees here. I want you to just release your back, round your back, stretch it out, And then you're going to pull the shoulders away from the ear, arch, cat-cow, and then round the back, push through the tops of the feet, stretch it out, and then one more time. Good. Now, we're going to tuck the toes, and we're going to move into calf, and we're going to do calf a little different today. So you'll need 2 tennis balls here. So you're going to tuck your toes, and you're going to place the tennis ball basically between your hamstring and your calf on both legs. You can be forward on your hands and knees, tucking those toes. So just start out here, hands and knees, and then I want you to shift your body back into the tennis balls and back off, back and forth. So that can be a little intense. Again, don't force it. Once you get there, maybe a little wiggle with the heels, side to side. Notice the difference. One side, my right calf, definitely feeling it more than my left on this particular area. Good. And then you're going to come off, and then I want you to lower it. So it's basically lower on the calf, but higher on the hamstring on both sides. And then lean into it again. And then a little shift side to side. I don't have as much there. Good. Now trying to keep the tennis balls there, untuck your toes. That's going to change everything on that particular spot. And then rock your hips side to side. If it causes you to cramp, then tuck your toes back under. And we're going to move them a little bit lower. So it's going up the hamstring and down the calf. So what's more sensitive, hamstrings or your calves? Probably your calf muscles. You're going to feel this more. And a little bit lower. So now I'm towards the bottom of my calf and the top of my hamstring. We're doing double duty here. Yep. And then we're going to take them off, tuck those toes, come up higher, push them back where we started first time. Now you're going to stay tall and just do a gentle hinge and hip back and forth, and then draw the heels side to side. Might get a little more hamstring this way. And then you're going to release. So we're not doing too much there. We're going to slide those tennis balls to the side. Place your hands back on the floor, place your right leg back, and stretch it out. Now if you can't engage that core, lift that left leg off the floor so you can really stretch through that calf muscle. And then we're going to lower it down, bend both knees, try the left side, press the toe into the floor, pull the shoulders away from the ears, lift the right knee off the floor. Feel that stretch. It's a little different than our normal calf roll, and release. But we're going to get there a little bit more in a moment. But first let's go the shins. So again, getting the whole lower body. So a lot of times glutes and quads and calves are like, most cyclists have very, very tight of all 3 of those. But we do want to do a little bit of shin because, you know, you got that foot motion on the pedal and the power. So you're going to bring the roller to the shins, hands on the floor, lift your hips. I want you to shift your body slightly to the left. Now option is you can roll here, forward and back, pulling your knees in and out. Be mindful of the bone. If it's hurting the bone, what I do is I cross my right foot over my left ankle, and then I rotate. So let's all rotate that left ankle as you roll forward and back along that shin. If you find a spot, just really slow it down, and then circle, circle, all the way up and all the way down. This is great for the core strength as well. Don't forget, we're going to do upper body, so that's why we're doing this first, so we can really relax the upper body and get some range of motion. And then we're going to tilt the hips the opposite way. I want you to pull the forward and then coming all the way back, slowly circling the ankle as you massage out the shin, the anterior tibialis, which can get very tight. You heard of shin splints? Runners get shin splints. So cyclists can also get pretty tight shins. One more time. So I'm going super slow. Because if you go really fast, you tend to miss the areas that are really tight. There we go. Excellent. Now I'm going to bring your tops of your toes to the roller, separate your feet and knees, and I want you to just hinge backwards. So now you're stretching out that shin and the top of the ankles. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring that roller closer, flex the feet. I want you to hinge yourself. Flip onto the feet, bring that roller in front of you, and we're gonna sit down. So this is the last part of the lower body we're gonna do, and then we're gonna get to the fun stuff, the upper body, and get you really getting some range of motion. So you're going to bring both feet onto the roller, the shins, right above the ankles, hands behind your back. But I want you to bring the roller probably like right below the meaty part of the calf, right below that calf. And what I'm gonna have you do is lay all the way onto your back, cross your right ankle over the left ankle, and then relax your upper body, and then bend and straighten your left knee. So you're really massaging out the bottom of that calf. Now I want you to tilt your hips to the right, so you're getting like the inside of that left. Yeah, and then turn your hips and your foot to the left and bend and straighten. And use your right leg to add a little pressure if you want. Massaging it out. And then go back to center. Excellent. Now we're going to uncross the right leg and use it to pull the roller to the middle of the calf, the middle of the meaty part of the gastroc. Cross your right leg back over the ankle and then bend and straighten. So you're massaging it out. And now you're going to tilt your hips and your foot to the left. And then you're going to bend and straighten. So now you're getting on the inside edge of that gastroc. Now I want you to pause here and rotate the ankle both directions. Just check in. So if you ever find a spot, even somewhere else, we can always go back there. But rotate that ankle. And then turn your foot to the opposite side, to the left, and rotate. Now we're going to switch legs. So I want you to bring that roller back down, right below the meaty part. Cross your left ankle over your right. And then bend and straighten. And then tilt your leg to the left. Your right leg tilts to the left, so you're on the inside edge. Bend and straighten. Turn your whole leg to the right. Bend and straighten. How's that feeling? Noticing a difference from this calf to the other? I am. I got a spot, so I got to circle that ankle. Circle your ankle if you find a spot. And then we're going to the meaty part of the calf, crossing the left ankle, and then bend and straighten. And then turn that leg to the left, bend and straighten. Add a circle of the ankle. Other direction. And then turn it all the way to the right. And then we're going to uncross those legs, and I want you to flex the feet, walk your hands away, turn your palms up, and then let them completely relax. Now close your eyes for just a moment. And breathe and notice what's going on with those calf muscles. Now I want you to take the right leg and reach it up to the sky, hold behind your thigh or your calf, and rotate the ankle of that right leg. Reach up as high as you comfortably can, keeping that leg straight. Maybe you can reach for your toe. Point and flex. You want to get that range of motion. Then hug the knee into the chest and go ahead and release it. And let's bring the left leg up. Rotate the ankle. Flex, maybe high, go a little higher. Notice the difference on this leg. Is it more hamstring, more calf on one leg than the other? We're going to release. And then hug the knee, both knees into the chest. Let's roll it all the way up. Moving on. So we finished up the lower body, and we're going to go to upper body. So we're going to start out with one tennis ball. And you're going to have a seat, and you're going to start with the hands. So what are we doing? We're always holding on or somehow on that bike. We use our hands for so many different things. So you're going to start out and place the L part of your hand on the tennis ball. And I want you to just pretend like you're juicing an orange. Just twist, 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 massaging. Yeah. You want it to feel good. So hopefully it feels good. And then we're going to start to circle the tennis ball around the palm and then draw it side to side, forward, back. You can even take the left arm hand and put it on top if you'd like to add a little circle. Go back to maybe rotating. So you're circling, shifting side to side, rotating. You can roll it up into the fingers and back all the way to the base of the palm where the thumb is. So you're going from fingertips to the base of the palm, almost to the wrist. Getting each fingertip all the way. And then juice the orange again, right in the middle of the palm. Juice the orange, juice the orange. And then open and close. Let's try the other hand. So place it on there, juice that orange, left hand. And you can use a lacrosse ball, racquetball. I'm using a tennis ball. And then over the top, side to side, circling, drawing big circles with the hand on that tennis ball, and then drawing forward and back, fingertips to the wrist, all the way across. You want this to feel good. It should feel very good. Releasing that fascia tissue, breaking down any crystallized tissue in the area so you can get blood flow and hydration in there. If you have a spot like right around that thumb, I always got some spots right there from the pressure. I probably put too much pressure on that spot. Or if you use a mouse, on that right hand, you're going to have it there. And then open and close. Massage out the wrists a little. Excellent. Now we're going to move up the hand to the forearm, but we're actually going to use the roller for the forearm. So to do that, we're going to come onto our hands and knees, and we're going to bring the palms upward and the forearms on the roller, and we're just going to lean into that roller and massage up and down that forearm. So this is one way to do it. I'm going to show you a few different ways. If you want to get a little deeper, take your left hand, place it on top of your right palm, and then I'm rolling, and I'm really twisting, trying to twist both hands to the right as I go into that forearm and then back into the wrist. So forearm to wrist, forearm to wrist. One more. And then I'm going to have you stay right where you are, but I just want you to unlace the fingers, flip your right palm down, place the left hand back on top so it's on the back of the arm now, and just roll the bottom part of the forearm. You might even feel this up into the shoulder. It's all connected. We know the fascia tissue. Wiggle those fingers. Goes from the fingers all the way up to that shoulder blade. Good. And then we're going to release. And then place the hand next to you, palm side up, and wiggle the fingers. So you're really stretching out that forearm. And then flip the palms down. Press open the fingers and press the palm down, and then rotate the elbow. Let's get some range of motion there. Flip the palm backwards, and then just try bending and straightening. So your fingertips are facing your feet, bending and straightening the elbow. And then one more time, flip the palm up, wiggle those fingers. You can even rotate the elbow. Nice. So we got that whole hand and forearm done. So let's go to the other side. So now you're going to flip the left hand up, place the forearm on the roller, interlace the right hand on top, lean your body weight to it, and really twist and roll into that forearm. As you push the arms forward, twist your body forward into the left, into that left forearm. So as you get into the meaty part of that forearm up by the elbow, you might feel some spots. Because that area, those muscles connect down, and that helps move those fingers. One more, And then we're gonna pause and we're gonna unlace the fingers, flip the palm downwards now with the left hand, place the right hand on top, and roll again, leaning into it. And maybe you don't feel anything. Maybe your forearms are great. Fantastic, fantastic. So leaning into those forearms. One more, and then release. Wiggle those fingers, open and close the fingers. Maybe massage the wrists, the forearm. So a great way to know is you place your hand, place your fingers right on the top of that forearm and then wiggle the fingers, and you can feel, you can even see the muscles moving if you try that out. All right, so this all attaches all the way up in the shoulders and the shoulder blades. So we're gonna get into that right now. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna flip back onto your bottom, and you're going to lean back into what we call the thoracic spine or T-spine. But I want you to actually take it a little bit lower towards the bottom part of it. So pretend like your belly button was going through into your back. You don't go below your belly button. All right, so you're gonna stay in the upper thoracic. We're gonna cross our arms over our chest and just tuck the chin. And now I want you to start to lean back into the roller. Hips stay on the floor. Now, if it causes too much pain, then you can lessen your pressure and lift up higher. But we want to really try to open and get some release in that upper back. And now I want you to breathe. Now, if you start getting pain in the neck, you can reach your fingers back, or feel free to bring your fingers behind the head. It does change though, because you get a little bit more into the muscles with the arms across the chest. Nice, good. Now, you're going to roll forward, so the roller moves up your back just about an inch, and then just breathe again. And just notice with each breath what's going on. Maybe you get a little adjustment here. Not let your head hang back. We want to keep it strong. You have to use your neck anyways a lot. We're just counter stretching. Instead of leaning forward, we're stretching it the other way. Good, one more. I want you to roll forward so the roller moves up the back a little more. Lean back into it. Excellent. Now we're going to bring the fingertips behind the head. Plant your feet on the floor. We're going to lift the hips, and now you get to roll your upper back. So you roll back down to where the belly button would meet in the back, but not below it. Maybe you get some adjustments. Maybe it just feels good. This is the best part. You want this to feel good. One more. All right, so now we're gonna go back to about middle of the shoulder blades, and you're gonna lower your hips down. And hold on to your head, lengthen your neck so you're not straining through your neck at all. I just want you to breathe here, just like we did before, and start to feel your body start to curve back over that roller just enough. You can feel a little bit of the pressure. Things open up. Good. Lift your body up and move yourself forward so the roller goes up the back a little more. Lean back into it. So we're higher up now, kind of pretty much closer to those shoulder blades. And then go back to the middle of those shoulder blades. About the middle part. Now I want you to lean backwards. Now start to tilt your whole upper body, like your right elbow down towards your right hip just a little bit, and then tilt towards your left shoulder blade. And then use your legs and your hips to roll yourself up and down on that left shoulder blade. Just right at the top there. So we're getting in there. Those shoulder blades get pretty tight, leaning forward, holding on to the bike. You might find some spots and just wiggle on them, pause on them. You can go all the way up to the shoulder. You can go down into the bottom of the shoulder blade. Just don't go into the rib cage. We want to avoid that rib cage. No popping any ribs out. There we go. And then we're going to come back onto our hips, back to center, realign. Always realign first. Now you're going to take your left elbow, and I want you to tilt your body. Start to slide your left elbow like it's going to your left hip. but then roll onto your right shoulder blade on that roller. So I'm showing the back side now. So you can see I'm just staying right up in that shoulder blade, going up into the shoulder, behind that armpit. One side might be more intense than the other. If it's too intense, you can always leave your hips on the floor or put them down to take a break. Making sure you're breathing. Almost there. And then we're going to lower the hips back to the floor. We're going to pull the elbows in, tuck the chin, and lift the hips, and then roll the upper back one more time. And make sure you exhale as you breathe, as you roll. Hopefully you're exhaling when you breathe, but you're inhaling and exhaling as well. One more. And then we're going to lower those hips all the way down. Bring the hands to the roller so you can lift up. And then hug your knees and then tuck your chin and just stretch out your back. And lean gently side to side. Rock side to side. You can do this. Stretch it all out. Hopefully it feels good. Now you're going to draw your hands underneath your thighs. And I want you to lift yourself up nice and tall and then just start to lean back. And feel the length through your neck and then start to turn your head gently side to side. We're not done. We still have to get to the top of the shoulders. We're going to work on those. And we're also going to release some of the chest and get some more range of motion with those arms and lessen up all the tension up here. So to do that, to get into the shoulders and lessen that tension in the neck, you want 2 tennis balls, right? So again, or 2 racquetballs, 2 lacrosse balls will work. And we're gonna move that roller to the side. And actually what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring the roller underneath your knees. So to the side and then under your knees. So you can get the tennis balls, you know, anywhere, the store, online. Don't go to the dog park. Those are usually yucky tennis balls. Sorry, I always have to say that little joke. Ha ha. Hopefully you're laughing. And then we're going to take the tennis balls and let's get a little deeper. You're going to lay all the way onto your back. Walk the shoulder blades away from your ears. So pretend like, say, you know, if you have a backpack on and where the straps would hit right over the shoulders, that's where these tennis balls are going to go. 1 on each side. So I'm just lifting up just enough to tuck them under the back of the top of my shoulder there so they don't come out. Once they're there, plant your feet on the floor. Make sure they're not going to slide out. Let's lift our hips and slide the roller underneath our hips. So we have complete support on the low back and the hips. And just relax here for a moment. Now you're going to reach your arms up to the sky and just breathe. And sometimes when you're cycling, biking, I mean even hiking, our shoulders can get so tired of the weight on them or the pressure. Start to reach your arms diagonally behind you about 45 degrees. Relax your hips, relax your shoulders. Might get a little intense, and the goal is to gently start to drift your arms back towards the floor behind you. If they don't go and it's too painful, leave them up high. It doesn't matter where they go, whatever works for you. And then eventually let them go to the floor behind you. And we're going to keep on breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. That's it. Feel that stretch. Feel what's going on. Maybe let your head turn to one side or turn to the other side. You're still breathing. That's it. And then very slowly, you're going to start to bring the hands back up to the sky. Continue breathing. Hopefully you have less pressure in those shoulders now. And then slowly bring them down next to the body. And then what I want you to do is lift your hips, take that roller out from under your hips, and then release the tennis balls as well. Oh, feels so good. So here you just need 1 tennis ball. And then what you want to do is you want to take your left arm out to the side and place the tennis ball right on the edge of where your arm and your chest connect. And just start to draw little, like tiny, like you're juicing that orange again, just little circles. And then hold the pressure there, and then start to bend and straighten your left arm. Then you're going to start to sweep that left arm along the floor, up above of your head, down by your hip, and just feel what's going on in that chest right where it connects. Now I want you to take your head and turn it away from that arm as you sweep it up and down. Might get a little more intense. As you can see, it's all connected. One more. And then pause here. Let your arms stay bent at 90 degrees, the back of the hand at the floor, and keep your head turned away. And just gentle pressure with that tennis ball, loosening things up, make adjustments as needed, and then turn your head to neutral and go ahead and release that tennis ball. Now we're going to the other side. So I want you to bring your right arm out to the side, place the tennis ball right where the chest and the arm meet. Add a little pressure, juice a little orange, like just little tiny circles with that tennis ball or racquetball or lacrosse, whatever you have. Now start by straightening and bending that right arm. And then you'll start to sweep it higher and lower along the floor. Adding a little pressure, not too much, don't dig in too much, and then turn your head away from the arm. And just notice what's going on there. You want it to feel good, you want to improve your range of motion, and we really want to let go of that shoulder and neck pressure and stress. One more sweep, and then we're going to just hold it there. And go ahead and release that tennis ball. Excellent. Now we want to stretch out the area. So go ahead and set the tennis balls to the side. Reach your arms overhead. You can adjust the roller maybe so it's under the knees. Reach those arms. Grab hold of the left wrist. Pull over to your right. And then we're going to switch wrists. Pull to the other side, lengthening the body. Excellent. And then bring the arms down to cactus arms. So they're out, elbows are out by your sides, arms are at 90 degrees, and the back of the hands are on the floor. And then you're going to keep the elbows bent, but slide the hands over your head. So basically your arms crisscross, like you're going to grab hold of your elbows, and then you're going to pull them all the way back down, close towards the ribs, and then sweep them up, other arm on top of. Reach them over your head and then bring them back down. And then reach your arms out to the side, palms up. Try to tuck your chin, but really relax your shoulders and your chest. And breathe. Excellent. We're going to bring the hands down next to the body. Hug the knees into your chest, and I want you to roll yourself all the way up. And we have one more to go. Save the best for last. We're going to do the head and the neck. So your head is constantly, a lot of times we're here, it's working, so we want to release any tension. Now we got the shoulder tension gone, so you're going to roll all the way back, place that roller behind the head, right about the occipital. Put your hands on the outside edges of your roller, and then turn your head gently. As you go side to side, remember you're on your skull, not your neck. So make sure it's rolling. And as you roll, you can even reach back and touch your vertebrae of your neck so it's not touching the roller. So just massage out the back of the skull there. A lot of attachments in there, so I want you to turn to the left and then nod your head yes. Right there on that spot, base of the occipital bone. And then very slowly roll your head to the right, and let's have another nod. Yep, I can feel this. Releasing that tension, and then bring the head to center. We're going to bring the roller higher up in the middle of the head. Look up at the sky, and then roll left and right. Massaging out the head, and then roll to the left, nod yes. Feels so good, and then roll to the right, nod yes. Feels excellent. And then back to center. And let your chin gently go towards the chest. So you feel a little stretch in the back of the neck. With your chin there, gently tilt your head slightly to the left. And then exhale, roll your head slightly to the right. And then back to center. Bring that roller much lower now. So now it's almost, pretty much can be on your vertebrae, but I want you to completely turn your head to the left. Hold the roller with the hands on the outside. Drop both knees towards your right. And breathe. If it's too intense, then you can bring your head to neutral. And then we're coming back up. Turn your head to the right. On the back of your neck, between the neck and the occipital, drop both knees to your left. Breathe. And then bring your head to neutral, knees up. This time bring your arms up onto the roller behind you. The roller's still on your neck, and your hands or fingertips are behind your head, and your elbows are on the roller. And drop both knees to your left again. But take your right arm now and reach it out as far as you can on the front of the roller, or you can reach it behind you across the roller. Just really stretching out that shoulder, or that chest pec muscle, which attaches to the shoulder. Bring that hand back behind the ears, knees to center. Drop the knees to your right. Turn your head to the left. Reach the left arm out or over the roller. Feel that stretch. And wiggle those fingers. And then back to center. Tuck the knees into the chest. Bring your head to the knees. And then back down. Go ahead and release the roller behind your head. Let it go. Your head go all the way to the floor and straighten out your legs. Walk your shoulders away from your ears. I want you to just feel the length. Feel what everything is going on. Feels so good. And we got one more stretch. The final one. I want you to turn all the way over onto your belly. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. I want you to lengthen through the spine by lifting the upper body. Lift your crown of your head diagonally into the front. And then use your palms like you're pulling yourself forward. So you're really stretching out through the belly. And then look over your right shoulder and smile. And then all the way over your left shoulder. Smile. And then back to center, chin to chest. And lift the head to neutral. Maybe a little higher, and bring your teeth together. And then exhale back down. Palms next to the body. Slide all the way back into child's pose. Stretch out those fingertips all the way forward. Press into the palms. Feel the stretch through the armpits. And then walk your hands back up. Have a seat. There's a lot to get through today. We did the whole lower body. We did the upper body. My goodness. Hopefully your head and neck feel much better. Shoulder rolls up, back, and down. Tilt that head side to side. Chin is in. Let's do one final twist. So lengthen, draw that chin in, twist to the right. Breathe in. Exhale, twist to the left. Feel that thoracic T-spine rotation, and then back to center. Bring those arms all the way out. Take a breath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, palms to heart space. You did a fantastic job today. Continue practicing rolling that fascia tissue to stay limber and prevent injuries. Namaste.